We see extraordinary progress in bilingual Yiddish lexicography since the beginning of the 21st century, both in the quantity and in the quality of new dictionaries and ongoing lexicographical projects. These developments answer a growing demand of the academia and of a larger public around the world for reliable Yiddish dictionaries. The excellent Yiddish-French dictionary edited by Itzhak Niborsky and Bernard Weisbrod, which appeared in 2002, became a model for the comprehensive Yiddish-English dictionary edited by Solon Beinfeld and Harry Bochner. It was published in 2013 and influenced the design and contents of several other newer Yiddish dictionaries. Another major development, especially for the Anglophone Yiddishophiles, was the appearance in 2016 of the comprehensive English-Yiddish dictionary edited by Gittel Schechter Waswanat and Paul Glaser. It contains the rich lexicographic legacy of Dr. Mordechai Schechter, 1927-2007, a Chernivtsi native whose father took part in the 1908 Chernivtsi Yiddish Conference. Schechter grew up in an atmosphere of Yiddish culture and lived in this city at Steingasse, now Pereaslavska Street, number 12, up to the age of 18. It's very, very close to here. He always insisted in speaking with me in the local Bukovinian Yiddish idiom. With time, he became one of the most active and creative modern Yiddish lexicographers. His dictionary has specific design features which takes it apart from other dictionaries of Yiddish. It puts an emphasis on modern English idiomatic speech, including informal speech. It includes also more Yiddish terms in science and technology, most of them neologisms, than any other dictionary. This dictionary includes about 50,000 entries and 33,000 sub-entries. Its editors, true devotees of Schechter's activist conception, who put it together on the basis of his vast lexical files, wish to show that for every English word and expression, there is a suitable equivalent in Yiddish. They add to the standard Yiddish vocabulary thousands of new words and terms coined by Mordechai Schechter, which are called by his opponents Schechterisms. For the area of modern world with its socio-economic, political, and technological changes. The proportion of terms from various domains, agriculture, botany, zoology, astronomy, various crafts and industries, is significantly higher in this dictionary than in any other Yiddish dictionary. Its editors strove to preserve in this way Schechter's abundant terminological legacy through overrepresentation of terminology, though overrepresentation of terminology doesn't correspond to the accepted model of a single volume comprehensive bilingual dictionary. We find in this dictionary Yiddish equivalents of such exotic English words as aardvark, aardwolf, that's animals from South Africa, gnu, kral, mahout, sausage tree, of names for all vitamins from A to K, and so on. So you see, in English, vitamin A, and in Yiddish, vitamin A. You see vitamin E, and in Yiddish, vitamin E, and so on and so forth. Absolute nonsense. It shouldn't be done. But this is being done. It fills the dictionary page after page after page, miles of mileage. Yiddish, the abundance of special terms causes inconvenience and confusion. Yiddish is not used today in many special areas of discourse, such as various industries and a number of academic disciplines. Hence, the introduction of corresponding terms into the dictionary seems to be pointless. Having overfilled the book with terms of all kinds, the dictionary editors ran out of space for other lexicographic data, even if they are felt to be lacking. On the other hand, in some cases, when the introduction of new Yiddish terminology justified, for example, computer terms, the compilers of the dictionary have duly met the demand of modernity. The logic behind some lexicographic solutions remains unclear. In this dictionary, lists of groups of Jews outside Europe is selective and doesn't follow a definite plan. Why do entries for an Armenian, a Japanese, and a Chinese Jew appear, though these countries do not have indigenous Jews? But an entry for a Moroccan Jew belonging to a major ethnic subgroup is absent. This dictionary is prescriptive. When an entry or sub-entry shows several Yiddish equivalents for a single English word, the most appropriate or commonly used synonym is listed first. Words resembling German ones, the so-called Deutschmerisms, are accompanied by a symbol showing that their accessibility instead in Yiddish is doubtful. The label for neologism is absent. The dictionary introduces lots and lots of new Yiddish words, such as elevator operator, liftnik, gypsy cab, privatnik, jogger, Läufler, spam, blitzmist, and so on. But how can a user of this dictionary know that a word found in the dictionary is an accepted, long-used Yiddish word and not a new lexical coinage? The editors and their devotees do not see an issue there, but the issue is present. Thus, every second word in this dictionary might be theoretically a new one. One of the issues which refer not only to this dictionary, but to other dictionaries of Yiddish, all of them actually, is ignoring the language of the vibrant Hasidic community of over 500,000 Yiddish speakers. A somewhat different set of information in comparison with this dictionary provides David Katz's online Yiddish Cultural Dictionary, a major lexicographic project in progress. Katz's approach is descriptive. If Schechter's dictionary gives 2 Yiddish equivalents for the Yiddish writer, Schreiber, plural Schreibers, and Mechaber, plural Mechabrim, Katz's dictionary adds to this list the archaic Schriftsteller, the Soviet word Avtor, Soifer, the traditional copy of Torah scrolls and mezuzahs, as well as various stylistically charged forms and words like Schreiberak, Tintler, Tintgisser, and so on, with an explanation that the plural form Schreibers is preferred in normativist circles, while the form Schreiber is no less legitimate. Katz, who is undoubtedly, yes, undoubtedly for me, undoubtedly, and for many other people, undoubtedly one of the best Yiddish experts of our generation, supplies the reader of his dictionary with up-to-date, multifaceted stylistic and dialectological information in entries describing Jewish religious and traditional notions. For example, in entries Bible, Yarmulke, Passover, and so on. Why Poland, the Yiddish name of Poland, is distorted in the name of the Museum Polish Jewry, Polin, and what are the Yiddish names of Belorussia through the ages, all of that answers to this and many other intriguing questions you will find in Katz's dictionary. In difference to other Yiddish dictionaries, Katz's dictionary includes the Hasidic vocabulary. We learn, for example, that a woven colored yarmulke worn by modern Orthodox Jews in Israel is called by the Haredim a Zioine Kappel, literally a Zionist yarmulke. In some problematic instances, when Schechter's dictionary doesn't give a direct Yiddish equivalent, Katz finds it. For example, wannabe. He suggests Kloimerster Knacker, Barimer, Selbstannoncierter, oder neologism Illusionik. Another dictionary which is only started now, it is a Yiddish dialectological dictionary by Alek Laser-Burko. It's the newest project that was started just now. It promises to describe glosses from both Eastern and Western Yiddish. The variety of target languages for the recently published comprehensive bilingual dictionary is increasing: Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Dutch, and Japanese. All of them, except the English-Japanese dictionary by Kazuo Ueda, which appeared in 2010, have been produced by amateur lexicographers. A case in point is the Yiddish-Belarusian dictionary produced by Alexander Ostrovukh. He is an ethnic Belarusian, a furniture restorer by profession, who acquired his English language skills in summer schools of Yiddish and in interviewing elderly native speakers. His dictionary, which appeared in print in 2008, has some unique features. Ostrovukh strives to give a Belarusian user a versatile description of the Yiddish language and culture of Belarusian Jews. Yiddish words are presented in Latin transliteration, with words of Hebrew Aramaic origin given in Hebrew letters with Latin transcription. The dictionary vocabulary of 50,000 words is taken from major Yiddish dictionaries and many literary sources. It includes over 5,000 proverbs and sayings, lots of idiomatic expressions, blessings and curses, citations for literary works, songs, tentative terminology for many headwords, synonyms and antonyms for words of Hebrew Aramaic origin. Each dictionary entry provides abundant and multi-sided information on a given lexical item in this way: a list of Yiddish loanwords in Belarusian, a list of first names and surnames of Belarusian Jews, and an essay on Yiddish-Belarusian mutual borrowings in language and folklore makes Ostrovukh's dictionary a rich source of information on the vocabulary stock of Belarusian Yiddish. The parameters and limitations of traditional model of a bilingual Yiddish dictionary are broken, and they are overcome here due to the original unorthodox approach of the author, who doesn't feel himself bound or boxed in by the accepted conventions of this genre. In my opinion, he succeeded in creating an excellent Yiddish bilingual dictionary which is above competition. Ostrovukh's motivation is understandable in the light of the history of intimate contacts between Belarusian and Yiddish. According to the census of 1897, Jews constituted 14% of the total population of Belarus, being there the biggest national minority. Between 1923 and 1939, Minsk, or Mensk, as they say in Belarusian, the capital of Belarus, was a major center of Yiddish culture. Zmetrok Biadulia, pen name of Samuel Nochem Plavnik, was one of the founders of the modern Belarusian literature. He was also an author of the first Yiddish-Belarusian dictionary. Another remarkable project was revealed to a broader public on February 18 this year with the presentation of an online comprehensive Yiddish-Dutch dictionary of over 80,000 Yiddish vocabulary entries. 80,000. Its lexical file is enormous and includes 50,000 headwords taken from other Yiddish dictionaries and over 100,000 terms accepted from Yiddish texts. Its author, Justus van der Kamp, is a historian by profession, an ethnic Dutchman who got fascinated by the Yiddish language, as many other people today, and learned it as a student. Similarly to Ostrovukh, he took part in English Reading Club. He is a co-author of a dictionary of Yiddish loanwords in Dutch language and translator of Peretz's stories into Dutch. For the last 31 years, he was systematically working on his Yiddish dictionary, adding to it 10 words every day. As Van der Kamp claims, it is the biggest of the existing Yiddish dictionaries. It is difficult for me to judge the quality of this enormous dictionary because it can be accessed only via a search window for individual words. However, a spot check shows that it isn't free from the weak side of almost all Yiddish dictionaries produced in the West. Mistakes in interpreting Slavisms. Kobza is a Ukrainian national musical instrument resembling a guitar, and Kobzar is a kobza player. Niborsky, in his Yiddish-French dictionary, mistakenly complains Kobzar as a balalaika player. And Beifeld and Bochner in their dictionary follow suit because they copy Nyborski. Van der Kamp misinterprets the notion even further. He writes that kobza means a bagpipe. There are more examples of this kind. Harkavi's erroneous Yiddish lexical entry, bezladnik, misinterpreted as hermit, was copied in all the dictionaries and continues to appear uncorrected for over 90 years in English dictionaries made in the West. Only Ostrovukh, a Slavic speaker, was able to correct this error in his dictionary. He writes, bezladnik, an untidy, disorganized person, and bezludnik, a hermit. Closely behind Van der Kamp dictionary, for the number of entries, comes the online Yiddish-Russian dictionary by Dmitry Tishchenko, comprising over 70,000 entries and growing. Its advantage is the proper attention to the Soviet Yiddish vocabulary, which is not presented in other Western dictionaries. Tishchenko is also the author of the Yiddish-Russian and Yiddish-Ukrainian dictionaries. I showed today at the presentation his Yiddish-Ukrainian dictionary. Each over 30,000 entries published in 2013, 2014. His dictionaries follow the model of Nyborski's dictionary and are improvement in comparison with it, being free of its mistakes in the interpretation of various words, especially historisms and Slavism. Tishchenko is a biologist and a teacher of German who showed a lot of dedication to Yiddish through a number of years and published in the 1990s a Yiddish magazine in Odessa, Mameloshin. We have to mention two more Yiddish-Russian dictionaries. The Alexander Soldatov, comprising 55,000 words, published in Moscow, 2011. I have no comment on this dictionary. And Boris Weinblatt dictionary describing 31,000 words of Soviet Yiddish, which was published in Farsaba in 2012. Weinblatt's work was substantially facilitated by the appearance in 1984 in Moscow of the Russian Yiddish dictionary, edited by Shapiro. I recall meeting Weinblatt in 1996. He brought along his huge cut lexical file with letter dividers in a specially designed metal suitcase. I was duly impressed, though few experts believed at that time that Weinblatt, a physician who spoke rudimentary Yiddish, will be able to create a dictionary on a decent level. Nevertheless, his end product seems to be quite adequate. Such extraordinary personalities as Ostrovukh, Tishchenko, Van der Kamp, Soldatov, and Weinblatt are enthusiasts of Yiddish. Each of them dedicated considerable sustained effort, going on for tens of years, with personal sacrifices, in seeing through the main project of their life. They are not trained linguists, but belong to various other professions, and all these professions are outside Yiddish academic institutions. Itzhak Nyborski commented in this connection recently, with some sadness, that more progress in Yiddish lexicography comes now not from the academia, but from motivated and determined amateurs. It is only partly true because without professional linguists such as Schechter, Katz, Nyborski, who produce dictionaries and their work, and without a competent expert background of them and consultations with experts, these amateurs can't produce decent product. All of these products are based on the basis of works which were completed or done by academic people. Moreover, all of these works, if you notice, they are for additional languages, so to say. Now the addition comes with the list of new languages into which Yiddish, whatever it is, Yiddish entries are being, which they are interpreted. Yiddish lexicographers are working nowadays against the clock, interviewing the dwindling number of elderly Jews who still remember the meanings of rare words used in pre-World War II shtetls. With the change of generations in the modern computer age, with a permanent decrease in number of secular native speakers of Yiddish, and their replacement by bilingual speakers who learn Yiddish as a second or third language, Yiddish lexicography has to adapt to new realia. An important new tendency is the transfer of dictionaries from their traditional paper form to computer platforms. The electronic medium opens the possibility of the creation of much bigger dictionaries based on material of enormous amounts of digitized Yiddish text. The amount of information in each dictionary entry and the number of entries are not limited anymore by the acceptable maximum physical size and weight of 1 or 2 volumes of a traditional bilingual dictionary printed off paper. We have, for the first time, online dynamic and permanently growing in size dictionaries of Justus van der Kamp, of 80,000 entries, of Dmitry Tishchenko, 70,000 entries, of David Skas, Yiddish Cultural Dictionary, and other lexicographical projects. I see one drawback here. Traditional dictionary users are losing the so-called serendipity effect of printed dictionaries. When looking for a certain word, you find on the same page other interesting words, though this drawback is compensated by the richness of digitized data. Moreover, in case of need, parts of the electronic dictionary may be printed out. Major previous Yiddish dictionaries, such as Stuchkov's Thesaurus and 4 volumes of the unfinished Great Dictionary of the Yiddish Language by Yudel Mark, became accessible on the internet as well. Yudel Mark's dictionary produced in its time the model of an explanatory language dictionary. In his model, there are elements of an encyclopedic dictionary as well. This approach is taken up by some authors of recent bilingual dictionaries. It is present in Ostrovuk's and in David Katz's dictionaries and serves as a source of important information of Jewish traditional culture for the modern generation of Yiddish dictionary users who are often either assimilated Jews or non-Jews. An orientation towards the interests of younger students of Yiddish is characteristic for both Schechter's and David Katz dictionaries. Schechter provides a plethora of Yiddish sex terms and Yiddish equivalents to words and expressions of the American youth's speech. Katz pays due attention to this vocabulary strata as well. His dictionary is still in the process of development, in which the cooperative participation of users and their feedback are welcome. The unprecedented creative activity in the field of Yiddish lexicography since the beginning of the 21st century is a sign of a growing interest to the Yiddish language and culture in the modern world. New comprehensive bilingual dictionaries of high quality become most useful reference tools, each in its own way, for the present and future generations of Yiddish readers and speakers in different countries. Thank you.
Very loud, and maybe someone will bring you the microphone.
Yeah, please.
Wait for the mic. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for a fascinating paper. When I first had the privilege of meeting you, I think it was 1980, you were one of the editors of what was then the largest project, Yiddish dictionary project in the world.
The results of this project still exist, but for copyright problems and institutional disagreements, they haven't published. When they'll be published, you'll say that I'm also an author of 2 additional volumes of this dictionary of Yudel Mark, okay? But for the time reason, it's not published yet, but it exists.
Yeah.
And I'm working of putting it on the internet, actually.
Okay, very good, because it had a rich
historical
component.
It has everything. It has everything, absolutely everything.
Could you give us some idea of the quantity?
Yes.
Because you spoke in quantitative terms of the other dictionaries.
Yes. The lexical file is over 1 million cards. The overall number of entries is a quarter of a million, 250,000.
Any other? Yes, please. Wait for the mic.
I have a comment, not a question. I just want to say that the new project, the Yiddish, the dialect dictionary that Professor Moskovich mentioned, I'm here as an ambassador of the project. So if anybody needs information, I have flyers and, as Schechter would say, kleepzettelig.
Dialectological dictionary, which one?
For the dialect, the
Burko, yeah.
Yiddish dialect Wörterbuch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? No, thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.